Hana Kim walked through the cargo bay with her scanner in hand. The device beeped softly as she moved past stacks of containers. She had done this job 1,000 times before. Check the cargo, make sure everything matched the paperwork, keep Nexus Prime safe. She was a security officer for the Galactic Coalition. That meant she worked for everyone and no one at the same time. Humans were still new to the galaxy, only 50 years since first contact. Some aliens still looked at her like she might bite them. Maybe they were right to worry. The scanner beeped louder. Hana stopped at a large metal container. The label said it held medical supplies from the Orvathi system. The scanner said something different. She tapped the screen and checked again. The reading was clear. Weapons. Biological weapons. Hana pressed the button on her collar. The comm device activated. Captain Park, I need backup at Cargo Bay 7. Found something interesting. 3 large figures moved out from behind the containers. Dreknari, 7 feet tall with scales like armor. They looked like dinosaurs that learned to walk on 2 legs and got mean about it. These 3 wore the red markings of Clan Sherrick. That meant criminals. The biggest one stepped forward. He showed his teeth. All of them were sharp. Human. You should walk away. Hana did not walk away. She stood her ground. At 5 feet 6 inches, she was barely half their height. She did not care. You are all under arrest. Put your hands on your heads, the Dreknari laughed. It sounded like rocks grinding together. Little human thinks she can arrest us. Cute. Hana pulled her stun baton from her belt. The weapon hummed to life. Blue electricity crackled along its length. Last chance. Hands on your heads, the biggest Dreknari reached for her. Big mistake. Hana moved fast. She was always fast. Growing up in Seoul Urban Defense Complex taught her that. The stun baton hit him in the side of the neck. He went down hard. The other 2 rushed her together. Hana ducked under the first one's grab. She struck the second one in the knee. His leg buckled. She hit him twice more. Head and chest. He fell on top of his friend. The third one was smarter. He kept his distance. He circled her slowly. Vraltok will kill you for this. Who? Our clan leader. He will challenge you. You will die in the arena, Hana smiled. It was not a friendly smile. Tell him I look forward to it. Captain Park arrived with 4 more officers. They put restraints on the 3 Dreknari and hauled them away. Park looked at Hana. He was older with gray in his hair. He had been fighting long before Hana was born. You okay? Fine, check the container. Bioweapons. Park shook his head. Clan Sherrick is going to be angry about this. Good. 2 hours later, Vraltok came to the security station. He was bigger than the 3 Hana arrested. His scales were darker, almost black. Scars covered his arms and face. Each scar probably had a story. Each story probably ended with someone dead. Hana sat at her desk. She did not stand up when he entered. That made him angry. She could see it in his eyes. You arrested my clan members. They were smuggling illegal weapons. Yes, I arrested them. Release them. No. Vraltok leaned over her desk. His breath smelled like meat. His claws scratched the metal surface. I could break you in half, human. Hana looked up at him. She did not blink. You could try, but we both know how that ends. You would be arrested. Your clan would lose what little respect it has left. Or you could follow the rules. Vraltok straightened up. He smiled. It was worse than his threats. Then I challenge you. A formal duel. Coalition law allows it. Captain Park stood up from his desk across the room. Hana, you don't have to accept, but she did have to accept. Everyone knew it. Refusing would make her look weak. It would make all humans look weak. The galaxy was watching. Always watching. Waiting for humans to fail, Hana stood up. She met Vraltok's eyes. I accept your challenge. Vraltok laughed, deep and rumbling. 3 days. The arena. I will enjoy breaking your bones, little human. He left. The door closed behind him. Park walked over to Hana. Are you crazy? Dreknari have killed 17 opponents in their last 20 duels. I know. He outweighs you by at least 200 pounds. His bones are reinforced. His scales are like armor. I know. Park grabbed her shoulders. Then why did you accept? Hana looked at him. Her face was calm. Because humans don't back down. You taught me that. That evening, Hana went to see Dr. Choi in the medical bay. He was studying something on his screen when she walked in. He looked up and frowned. I heard about the duel. I need information about Dreknari biology. Choi pulled up files on his screen. Images of Dreknari anatomy appeared. Internal organs. Skeletal structure. Nervous system, they have redundant organs. 2 hearts, 3 lungs. If you damage one, they have backups. Their bones are reinforced with metal deposits. Natural armor plating, their nervous system is distributed so pain does not stop them easily. Weaknesses? Choi was quiet for a moment. He zoomed in on the chest area, the respiratory system. All 3 lungs connect to a central chamber in the chest. It is protected by a flexible sternum, but it is not as strong as the rest of their skeleton. If you could damage that area, compromise the breathing, he would go down. How much force would it take? Choi looked at her sadly. More than you can generate with your bare hands. I am sorry, Hana. I wish I had better news. Hana nodded. She thanked him and left. Later that night, her friend Yuna came to her quarters. Yuna was another security officer. They had trained together, fought together. Yuna was like a sister. Let me help you train, Yuna said. They went to the training room. For 2 hours they sparred. Yuna was good, fast and strong, but Hana was better. She had always been better. Not because she was faster or stronger. Because she thought differently. She saw openings. She used leverage. She turned her opponent's strength against them. When they finished, both were covered in sweat. Yuna sat on the floor. You can beat him, Hana was not so sure, but she nodded anyway. I have to. Later, alone in her quarters, Hana stood by the window. Outside, space stretched forever. Stars burned in the darkness. Somewhere out there was Earth. Home. She thought about her family, her teachers, everyone who taught her to fight. To survive. Humans had survived ice ages, predators, diseases, wars. They survived because they refused to give up. Because they were clever. Because when the universe said no, humans found a way to say yes. Vraltok was bigger, stronger, tougher. But Hana was human. And humans did not lose because someone was bigger. They just found another way to win. Word spread fast on Nexus Prime. A human had accepted a duel challenge from a Draknari clan leader. Within hours, everyone knew. Within a day, the betting pools opened. The odds were not good for Hana. 50-1 against her. Some aliens were offering even worse odds. They had seen Draknari fight before. They had seen what Vraltok did to his opponents. Hana did not care about the odds. She cared about being ready. The morning after the challenge, Ambassador Threnek visited Captain Park's office. Threnek was an Orvathi, tall and thin, with silver skin that seemed to glow. He moved with careful grace, like every motion was planned. Captain, we need to discuss Corporal Kim's duel. Park leaned back in his chair. He knew what was coming. What about it? If she loses badly, it could affect human standing in the coalition. Other species are watching. They will see weakness. Park stood up. He was not as tall as the ambassador, but his presence filled the room. With respect, Ambassador, humans did not get to the stars by backing down from fights. Win or lose, Corporal Kim shows courage. That counts for something. Threnek tilted his head. It was an Orvathi gesture that meant concern. Courage is admirable, but survival is practical. Humans are good at both. Hana spent the next 2 days studying. She watched recordings of old Draknari duels. Hour after hour of violence. The Draknari fighting style was simple. Charge forward. Use strength. Overwhelm the opponent. Break bones. Most species who fought them tried to match that strength. They always lost. Hana would not make that mistake. She made notes. Patterns emerged. Draknari fighters always led with their dominant hand. They protected their head but left their sides exposed. They expected opponents to retreat. When someone stood their ground, it confused them. Just for a second. But a second was enough. On the second day, Hana encountered Vraltok in one of the station's main corridors. He was with 2 other Draknari. They blocked her path. Vraltok smiled his terrible smile. Little human, are you scared yet? Hana stopped walking. She looked up at him calmly. Should I be? I have killed stronger opponents than you, bigger, tougher. I will break your arms first. Then your legs. Then your ribs. You will beg me to stop. Hana did not look away. She held his gaze. Humans have a saying. Don't count your victories before the fight is over. Vraltok laughed. But there was something in his eyes. Not fear exactly. Maybe uncertainty. Maybe he was starting to wonder why this small human showed no fear. He stepped aside. Hana walked past him without looking back. That afternoon, Dr. Choi ran a full medical scan on Hana. He checked her bone density, muscle efficiency, and cardiovascular health. Everything looked good. Better than good, actually. You are in excellent condition, Choi said. Your bones are denser than average for a human. Growing up in Earth's gravity gave you an advantage. Will it be enough? Choi was quiet. He looked at his screens, then back at her. Physically, you are outmatched. But you are smart, Hana. You know how to fight. Use that. On the day before the duel, Hana visited the arena. She wanted to see the space, understand the environment. Every advantage mattered. The arena was circular, about 50 feet across. The floor was smooth. No cover, nowhere to hide. Observation galleries ringed the space above. Tomorrow, those galleries would be full of aliens watching her fight for her life. A small figure was working near one wall. Hana recognized him. Krell, a maintenance engineer. He was Chitrax, insect-like with 6 arms and compound eyes. He was repairing a row of observation chairs. Hello, Krell. Krell looked up. His mandibles clicked in greeting. Corporal Kim, you fight tomorrow, yes? Yes. The furniture here is weak. Decorative. They make it that way so fighters cannot use it as weapons. Coalition rules. Hana looked at the chairs. They did look flimsy. But Krell had said something interesting. They were designed to be weak, which meant someone had thought about fighters using furniture as weapons. She filed that thought away. That evening, Captain Park came to Hana's quarters. He carried a small box. I brought you something. He opened the box. Inside were brass knuckles disguised as decorative rings. Old Earth style. Illegal in the duel, of course. I know you cannot use them, Park said. The arbitrators will check for weapons. But I wanted you to have them anyway, to remember where we come from. Hana held the rings. They were heavy, solid. She could imagine generations of humans using weapons like these. Fighting, surviving. Thank you, Captain. Park put his hand on her shoulder. Win or lose, you make us proud. You hear me? I hear you. Yuna came by later. She brought food. They ate together in silence for a while. I wish I could fight him for you, Yuna finally said. Hana smiled. I know, but this is my fight. Promise me something. What? Don't fight fair. Use every dirty trick you know. Make him regret challenging you. Hana's smile got wider. I promise. After Yuna left, Hana sat alone in her quarters. She thought about everything she had learned. About Draknari physiology, about fighting styles, about the arena layout. She could not match Vraltok's strength. That was clear. She could not outlast him. His redundant organs meant he could take more damage than her, but she could be smarter, faster, more creative. Humans had not conquered Earth by being the strongest predator. They did it by being the smartest, by using tools, by adapting. The rules said no manufactured weapons. But rules always had loopholes. Humans were good at finding loopholes. Hana closed her eyes. She visualized the fight, saw herself moving, dodging, striking. She ran through scenarios, counters, backup plans. When she finally opened her eyes, it was late. The station's artificial night cycle had begun. Outside her window, stars shone in the darkness. Tomorrow, she would step into that arena. Tomorrow, she would face something bigger, stronger, and more dangerous than her. Tomorrow, she would show the galaxy what humans could do. She stood up and walked to her small training area. For the next hour, she practiced. Not strength exercises, not endurance. She practiced precision, speed, targeting specific points. Every movement had to be perfect. When she finally stopped, her muscles burned. Sweat covered her skin, but her mind was clear. She was ready. The arena was full. Hundreds of aliens filled the observation galleries. Hana could see them through the transparent walls. Different species from across the galaxy, all here to watch a human fight a Draknari. Most probably expected it to be quick, violent. A lesson about challenging the wrong opponent. They were right. About the violent part. Arbitrator Quelix stood in the center of the arena. The crystalline being glowed with a soft blue light. Quelix had no emotions that Hana could see. Just cold efficiency. The arbitrator's voice echoed through the space. This is a sanctioned duel under coalition law. The rules are simple. No manufactured weapons. No energy devices. No external assistance. Combat continues until submission, incapacitation, or death. Medical teams stand ready. Hana wore light clothing, flexible pants, and a tight shirt. Nothing to grab. Nothing to restrict movement. She had tied her hair back tight. Vreltok entered from the opposite side. He wore traditional Draknari combat wrappings. Red cloth wound around his arms and chest. His scales caught the light. Black and shining, he looked like a dragon from old Earth stories. The size difference was shocking. Vreltok stood over 7 feet tall. His shoulders were twice as wide as hers. Each of his arms was thicker than her legs. In the gallery, Captain Park stood with his hands pressed against the glass. Yuna was beside him. Dr. Choi watched from another section, his medical scanner active and monitoring Hana's vital signs remotely. Quelix raised one crystalline hand. Begin. Vreltok charged immediately. He moved fast for something so large. His feet pounded against the arena floor. He came at Hana like a freight train, arms spread wide to grab her. Hana moved faster. She darted to the side at the last second. Vreltok's hands closed on empty air. His momentum carried him past her. She was already moving behind him, light on her feet. The crowd murmured. Some aliens leaned forward. This was not what they expected. Vreltok spun around. He snarled and charged again. Again, Hana evaded. She stayed just out of reach, dancing away from his attacks, making him chase her. After the third miss, Vreltok stopped. He stood in the center of the arena, breathing hard. Stand still, human. Face me. Hana circled him slowly, studying him. Looking for patterns. Why? So you can grab me? I don't think so. Vreltok changed tactics. Instead of charging, he moved carefully, cutting off angles, backing Hana toward the wall. He was learning. That was bad. Hana let him think he was winning. She moved closer to the wall, closer. When he lunged, she was ready. She dropped low and drove her fist into his knee joint. It barely hurt him, but it made him stumble. That was enough. Hana rolled away and got back to open space. Now she went on the attack. Quick strikes, testing his defenses. She aimed for nerve clusters she had studied. The soft spots under his arms, the sides of his neck, his eyes. Most hits did little damage. His scales were too thick. His redundant nervous system meant pain did not stop him. But she was learning too, finding the gaps in his armor, the places where scales overlapped but did not fully protect. Vreltok swung at her, a massive backhand that would have broken bones if it connected. Hana ducked under it. She drove her elbow into his ribs. Hard as she could, she felt the impact travel up her arm. Vreltok grunted. It was the first sound of pain she had gotten from him. Then his hand caught her, his fingers wrapped around her waist. He lifted her off the ground like she weighed nothing. His grip tightened. Hana felt her ribs compress. She could not breathe. In the gallery, Yuna pressed her hands against the glass. Captain Park's face was stone, but his jaw was tight. Vreltok brought Hana closer to his face. His breath was hot. His teeth were very close. Now you die, little human. Hana had one chance. She drove both thumbs into his eyes. Vreltok roared. The sound shook the arena. His grip loosened just enough. Hana twisted free and dropped to the floor. She rolled away, gasping for air. The crowd erupted. Some aliens cheered. Others made sounds of disgust. Eye attacks were brutal, but they were legal. Vreltok rubbed his eyes. They were watering. He could still see, but now he was angry. Really angry. The careful hunter was gone. Now he was just violence. He came at Hana like a storm, punch after punch. Each one could break bones, each one faster than the last. Hana dodged most of them, but not all. A glancing blow caught her shoulder. She spun with the impact, using the momentum to get distance. Another hit caught her ribs. Pain exploded through her chest. She stumbled back. Vreltok pressed forward. His fist came down like a hammer. Hana threw herself to the side. His fist hit the floor where she had been standing. The impact cracked the reinforced material. Hana scrambled away. Her ribs hurt. Her shoulder felt numb. She was getting tired. Vreltok seemed endless. His redundant organs meant he could keep fighting when anyone else would drop. She needed an advantage. Something to even the odds. Vreltok charged again. Hana dodged, but she was a step slower now. Tired. Hurt. She backed toward the edge of the arena. Where the observation chairs lined the wall, Vreltok saw his chance. He lunged with both arms spread. He would trap her against the wall. Crush her. Hana dove to the side, but not quite fast enough. Vreltok's arm caught her. She flew through the air and crashed into one of the decorative observation chairs. The chair broke apart. Wood and metal scattered across the floor. Hana hit the ground hard. For a moment, she just lay there. Everything hurt. In the gallery, Yuna was shouting. Captain Park looked like he might break through the glass. Vraltok walked toward her slowly, taking his time, savoring his victory. It is over, human. Hana's hand touched something, one of the chair legs, about 3 feet long, wooden but with a metal core for stability, heavy, solid. She gripped it tight. Vraltok reached for her. Hana rose to her feet, the chair leg in her hand. She met his eyes. No. Now it starts. Vraltok stopped. He looked at the improvised weapon. Then he laughed. You think a piece of wood will help you? But there was uncertainty in his voice now. The crowd had gone quiet. Arbitrator Quellix's voice rang out. Challenge to the weapon. Is broken furniture a manufactured weapon? Time seemed to stop. Everyone waited. Quellix consulted a holographic display. The rules scrolled past in multiple languages. The arbitrator read carefully, slowly. Finally, Quellix spoke. The object was not brought into the arena as a weapon. It became debris during the course of combat. It is not manufactured for the purpose of harm. Ruling allowed. Combat continues. In the gallery, Captain Park smiled. It was not a nice smile. Hana shifted her grip on the chair leg. She had trained with sticks, batons, staffs. Every human culture had weapons like this. 10,000 years of stick-fighting knowledge lived in her muscle memory. She looked at Vraltok. Let me show you what humans can do with a stick. Everything changed. With the chair leg in her hands, Hana was no longer just trying to survive. Now she had reach, leverage, a weapon that humans had been using since before they built cities. Vraltok charged at her again. He still thought he would win, still thought his size and strength meant victory. He was wrong. Hana met his charge with a strike to his extended arm. The metal core of the chair leg made it strong. The wood made it fast. The combination hit Vraltok's elbow joint with precision. He grunted, pulled his arm back. But Hana was already moving. She flowed around him like water. The chair leg struck his ribs, his shoulder, the back of his knee. Each hit was calculated. Each strike aimed at a weakness. She remembered her training. The Filipino stick fighting her instructor taught her. The Japanese staff techniques she learned in the academy. The riot baton training from Earth security forces. Every human culture had learned to fight with sticks. And every lesson was in Hana's hands now. Vraltok swung at her. She ducked and struck his extended arm. He tried to grab the chair leg. She pulled it back and hit him in the jaw. The sound echoed through the arena. The crowd was no longer quiet. Aliens were standing. Some cheered. Some made sounds of shock. This was not how Dreknari fights usually went. Vraltok roared in frustration. He was bleeding now. Small cuts where the chair leg had found gaps in his scales. His left eye was swelling. His movements were getting slower, but he was far from finished. He was Dreknari. Pain did not stop him. Fatigue did not stop him. He had redundant organs, backup systems. He could fight for hours. Hana knew this. She could not win by attrition. She needed to end it. To find the weakness Dr. Choi had mentioned. The centralized respiratory system. The flexible sternum protecting it. Vraltok changed tactics again. He became more defensive, protecting his head and chest, making it harder for Hana to land clean hits. He was learning, adapting, good. That meant he was taking her seriously now. That meant he was worried. They circled each other, both breathing hard, both bleeding. The arena floor was stained with their blood, mostly his, but enough of hers to remind her that she was still human, still fragile compared to him. Hana fainted high. Vraltok raised his arms to block. She dropped low and swept the chair leg at his knee. It connected hard. He stumbled. She pressed the advantage. Strike after strike, driving him back. He blocked most of them, but each block jarred his arms. Each impact wore him down. Vraltok grabbed for the chair leg with both hands. This time he caught it. He yanked hard, trying to pull it from her grip, trying to disarm her. Hana let go. The sudden lack of resistance made Vraltok stumble back. For just a second, he was off balance. His chest was exposed. Hana closed the distance in a heartbeat. She drove her fist into his throat. Then his jaw. Then the side of his head. 3 hits in 2 seconds. Fast and brutal. Vraltok staggered. He dropped the chair leg. Hana scooped it up and danced back out of reach. In the gallery, Captain Park was grinning. Yuna was jumping up and down. Dr. Choi watched his scanners with intense focus. The fight continued. Hana kept moving. Always moving. Using the chair leg like an extension of her arm. She targeted joints, eyes, the soft spots under his arms where scales did not fully protect. She was systematic, methodical, breaking him down piece by piece. Vraltok was slowing. His breathing was labored. His blocks came a fraction slower. Blood ran from multiple wounds. Nothing fatal. Nothing that would stop him immediately. But death by 1,000 cuts was still death. He tried one more charge, desperation making him reckless. Hana was ready. She sidestepped and brought the chair leg around in a full power swing. It caught him in the ribs, on his left side, right where Dr. Choi said the respiratory chamber was most vulnerable. There was a crack. Loud and clear, Vraltok stopped. His hand went to his side. His eyes went wide. Hana saw it. Saw the moment he realized he was hurt. Really hurt. The invincible warrior had a crack in his armor. She did not give him time to recover. She attacked again. Same spot, same target. The chair leg struck his damaged ribs twice more. Each hit made him grunt, made him flinch. His breathing changed. It was harder now, ragged. The flexible sternum was compromised, not broken yet, but damaged. The respiratory chamber underneath was being compressed. Vraltok backed away. For the first time he looked worried. Really worried. He had fought many opponents, killed many, but none had done this to him. Hana advanced. No mercy, no hesitation. She remembered what he said he would do to her. Break her arms, her legs, her ribs, make her beg. She was not begging. He would be. She struck at his injured ribs again. He tried to block, too slow. The chair leg hit its mark. Another crack. This one deeper, worse. Vraltok stumbled. Fell to one knee. His hand pressed against his side. His breathing was wrong, wet, painful. The crowd was roaring now. The sound washed over the arena like a wave. Some aliens were chanting Hana's name. Others were silent with shock. Vraltok looked up at Hana. In his eyes, she saw something new, respect and fear. You fight well, human. Hana did not lower her weapon. Surrender. Vraltok shook his head. Dreknari did not surrender. Not to death, not to pain. They fought until they could not fight anymore. He pushed himself back to his feet. Swaying. Blood dripped from his mouth now. Internal damage. The respiratory chamber was bleeding. His breathing was getting worse, but he raised his fists, ready to continue. Hana respected that. In another situation, they might have been allies. Warriors recognizing each other. But this was not that situation. Vraltok charged one last time. Not fast, not coordinated. Just pure will. Pure refusal to give up. Hana did not dodge this time. She planted her feet. Gripped the chair leg with both hands. She held it like a spear. Pointed it at his damaged chest, and she met his charge head-on. The impact was massive. Vraltok's own momentum drove him onto the improvised spear. The chair leg did not pierce the sternum. It did not need to. The force of 700 pounds of charging Dreknari concentrated on one point. On an already damaged chest, the flexible sternum collapsed inward. The respiratory chamber beneath compressed. 3 lungs trying to function in a space suddenly too small. Vraltok went down. Hard. The sound echoed through the suddenly silent arena. The arena was silent. Vraltok lay on the floor. He was still breathing, barely. Each breath was a struggle. His chest rose and fell in uneven, painful movements. His hand pressed against his collapsed sternum. He tried to stand. His muscles strained, but his respiratory system could not support the effort. He fell back down. Hana stood over him, the chair leg still in her hands. She was bleeding, bruised, exhausted, but standing. Vraltok looked up at her. He raised one hand. Palm out, fingers spread. It was a Dreknari gesture. Ancient, sacred submission. The crowd erupted. The sound was deafening. Hundreds of aliens shouting, cheering. Some in celebration, some in disbelief. Arbitrator Quellix's voice cut through the noise. Submission acknowledged. Victor, Corporal Hana Kim of Earth. Medical teams rushed into the arena. They swarmed around Vraltok with scanners and equipment, working quickly to stabilize him. His injuries were severe but not fatal. They would reconstruct his chest, replace the damaged sections of his sternum. But his fighting days were over. Hana dropped the chair leg. It clattered on the floor. Her legs felt weak. The adrenaline was fading. Everything hurt. Then Yuna was there, rushing across the arena. She caught Hana as her legs gave out. I got you. I got you. Captain Park arrived next. Dr. Choi was right behind him. They helped Hana to her feet, supported her weight. Park looked at her. His eyes were wet. You did it. You actually did it. Hana managed a small smile. Told you. Humans don't back down. Dr. Choi scanned her with his medical device on 2 cracked ribs, severe bruising. Muscle strain. You need rest immediately. Later. Need to walk out of here first. She understood. Everyone was watching. The galaxy was watching. She had to walk out under her own power. Show strength. Show that humans could take the punishment and still stand. They helped her to the arena exit. The crowd was still cheering. Hana looked up at them. Saw hundreds of different faces, different species, all watching her with new respect. The next few days were chaos. News of the duel spread across the entire coalition. A human had defeated a Dreknari clan leader in single combat. Using an improvised weapon, it was unprecedented. Some species were impressed, others were concerned. Humans were proving to be more dangerous than anyone expected. Military academies across coalition space requested copies of the fight recording. They wanted to study it, understand it. Some called it brilliant tactics. Others called it brutal efficiency. The concept of improvised weapons became a hot topic. Coalition regulations had never considered it before. Most species used manufactured weapons or natural abilities. Humans were different. They could turn anything into a weapon. Engineer Krell visited Hana in the medical bay. He brought her a gift, a polished piece of wood, the same chair leg she had used in the fight. He had retrieved it after the duel, cleaned it, made it into a trophy. Thought you might want to keep it, Krell said. Historic artifact now. First improvised weapon victory in Coalition Arena. Hana accepted it. The wood was smooth, solid. It had saved her life. Thank you, Krell. A week after the duel, Hana received an official commendation from Coalition Command. They called her a model officer, praised her courage and resourcefulness. But behind closed doors, some ambassadors were worried. They met with Captain Park, expressed concern about human behavior, about setting dangerous precedents. Park listened patiently. Then he smiled. You invited humans into the coalition. You wanted us to follow your rules. We did. The rules said no manufactured weapons. Corporal Kim used debris from the environment. That is not our fault. That is smart fighting. Ambassador Thrennick tilted his head. Humans find loopholes. Yes, we are very good at it. You should remember that. The arrested Clan Sherik members were prosecuted successfully, with Viraltok defeated and recovering in a medical facility. The clan's power on Nexus Prime crumbled. Their smuggling operations were shut down. Other criminal groups learned a lesson. Do not challenge human security officers. Viraltok himself sent a message to Hana. It was short, respectful. You fought with honor. I underestimated you. I will not make that mistake again. Neither will my people. Hana kept the message, filed it away. Maybe one day they would meet again under different circumstances. 2 weeks after the duel, Hana stood in the observation deck again. The same place she had stood before the fight. Looking out at the stars, Yuna found her there. How are the ribs? Better, still sore, but healing. They stood together in comfortable silence, watching the stars. You know what the other species are saying? Yuna asked. What? That humans are the most dangerous species in the coalition. Not because we are the strongest. Not because we have the best technology, but because we are creative, we adapt. We turn anything into a weapon. Hana nodded slowly. They are right. Does that worry you? Hana thought about it. About Earth, about human history, wars, struggles, survival. No, it is who we are. We survived ice ages, predators, plagues. We did it by being clever, by refusing to give up. The galaxy needs to understand that, Yuna smiled. You taught them, one chair leg at a time. Later that day, Captain Park called Hana to his office. He looked amused. I have news. What kind of news? Coalition regulations have been amended. New clause in the sanctioned duel rules. About environmental objects used as weapons. Hana raised an eyebrow. What are they calling it? Park grinned. The Kim provision. Hana laughed. It hurt her ribs, but she did not care. Really? Really? Your name is now part of coalition law. Across the entire galaxy. Trillions of beings will know about the human who used a chair leg to defeat a Dreknari warrior. Hana shook her head. Smiled. My mother is going to love this. That night, Hana sent a message home to Earth, to her family. She told them about the fight, about the victory, about making history. Her mother's response came the next day. It was short, proud of you, but next time use better furniture. Oak is stronger than pine. Hana laughed until her ribs hurt. Weeks turned into months. Life on Nexus Prime returned to normal, but things had changed. Other species looked at humans differently now, with more respect, more caution. The betting pools had paid out to the few who bet on Hana. Those gamblers were now considered either very lucky or very smart. Hana went back to her regular duties, checking cargo,
keeping the peace,
being a security officer. But now when she walked through the station, people moved aside, gave her space, nodded with respect. The human who used a chair leg to reshape a Draknari's ribcage, the human who showed the galaxy that manufactured weapons were optional, the human who proved that creativity and determination could overcome raw strength. She kept the polished chair leg in her quarters. A reminder, not of the fight, but of what humans could do when pushed. When challenged, humans did not break. They adapted, they improvised, they won. And the galaxy was learning that lesson, one fight at a time.